my absolute favorite videos of the year to film. This is when we start going over new releases. So for the week of May, gosh, I've lost my dates. May 11th. I always want to put the Friday date on there. Anyway, it's a whole thing. May 11th, we are going to be dropping 5 new kits. We've got 241, 242, 243, 244, and Mystery Kit 15. But before I get ahead of myself, all of those kits are going to be in our newly reformatted sheets. So I really wanted to change the font up this time, and just due to some behind the scenes logistics, we were not able to get it done in time. Kim is taking one of her bucket list trips for the next few weeks and going to Holland with her husband. I'm so excited for her, and it just unfortunately did not fall well enough for us to be able to work on the reformats and then get all of the new script items up that go along with changing a font. So the font is still the same. It will be changing in the January kits, the 2024 kits. I'm with you guys. I'm ready for a new font. I love F12, but it to me has overstayed its welcome. So that is coming. But beyond that, we have a ton of new changes. So what I decided to do was use Ashley's 241 kit, which is called Lemon Squeezy, which okay, I'm getting old. Little things make me laugh. So I love this kit and thought it was just the best one to use for going over these reformats. We are going over every single sheet today, so this is going to be a long video. I'm going to put timestamps down in the description, so just, you know, pop open that little description if you don't want to see all of the sheets, because I get it. Nobody has all of these planners and nobody has that kind of time. So you can skip forward as you'd like. We are going to start, per usual, with the regular vertical kit, and this is a 2 listing kit. So there's a main listing and then there's an add-on listing. So I'm going to be very thorough telling you what is in which listings here, so it's a little bit easier for you to find. There are not a ton of changes as far as that part goes, but just know that I will be going through every single sheet. So these kits are sized, if you're new here, to fit the 1.5 inch wide column planners. The EC Hourly has a slightly wider column, but people use these in there. I used to use the Erin Condren Teacher Planner in the 8.5 by 11 size, which had a 2-point-something inch column, and they work great. So if you have a vertical planner that is a 7 by 9 or larger size, just know that these will work. All right, the sampler sheets. So we have sampler 1 and sampler 2, and I am going to talk a little bit of detail about these sheets. So I got a lot of, I use this type of label, but I don't use this type of label. I use this, but I don't use that. I don't like the hearts, but I like check boxes, etc. The idea behind a sampler sheet is to get a sampling of things that are in other listings. So just kind of keep that in mind. I know that not everybody is going to use every single sticker on these sheets. That's okay. Like, it's okay. And you know what? Branch out and try to use something that you wouldn't normally use. You may surprise yourself. So the other big request we got for the sampler sheets was to put deco on them. Due to the fact that these all have the same cut file, like regardless of whether it's going to be kit 241 or 248 or 279, they have the same cut file. This is helpful for production. This is helpful for profits, and we're not going to lie, we're a business. We're in this to make money. So if we have a whole bunch of different sampler sheet cut files laying around, it just reduces the profit, which then means we need to increase the price of the sheets. So we're not going there. What we did do was do like a little bit of a compromise between what everybody was saying. I did get rid of the 2-tone labels and the flags, because you can buy those on a tiny little add-on sheet that you'll see. And some of the other little things that there were quite a few people that said they don't use them. So if there was a majority vote, they got removed. So we did reduce the number of appointment labels on there. There's only 3. Again, there's a tiny little add-on sheet if you are the type that uses that. And keeping in mind the whole deco situation, I did add on some pieces that could be the same on all of our cut files. So we have some new brush strokes, we have a fun little pattern corner piece, and then these little squiggles that can be used in a deco style manner. So I kept some of the hearts on there. We did reduce the number of those. And then we also added on some checklist individual little boxes. Okay, so they'll fit in the majority of planners. And yeah, I think that's it. We added in a little tiny doodle label for those that don't use a ton of the larger size boxes. So this is what we ended up with. You still get your 4 strips of washi, a wide variety of labels and pattern boxes. You are still gonna get a decorative full box on the first sampler sheet. I did add and change up some of the icons, and to be honest with you, I did them so long ago, I'm having trouble remembering exactly which ones. I think I got rid of the little tiny speech bubble and added in a recycling icon because that was requested quite a bit. And then the second sheet still have your 4 strips of washi, your 2 thicker, your 2 thinner. You will get a functional full box of some sort, 2 habit trackers, and some scripts. We did add on a couple of scripts here. I believe the lazy day is new, nope and canceled are new, and I kind of kept the rest of them pretty much the same. We also added on these stitch boxes. Those seem to be going pretty well on our add-on sheet, so I thought that would be a fun replacement for the flags and the 2-tone labels that people explained were not really something they used all the time. These are just larger labels, so the other ones are skinnier than those, so you can see that. And then again, these brush strokes that can be used, some of them will be light enough to write directly on. Some you can use scripts, you can use them as dividers. They're just a fun little way to kind of bring in the deco sheet feel into the sampler sheets. Okay, so let's move into some of the other stuff. So here's our full box sheet, and this had no changes as far as sizing, quantities per page, etc. But Ashley and Lindsay are like really stepping up their full box game, and I'm so excited for you guys to see the kits they have coming out. All right, so then we have our small washi and the deluxe washi. I asked about doing a thin washi only sheet. That was like pretty divided, but the majority of them wanted a variety of thicknesses, so I did keep it that way. This is something that I have turmoil with every time we do reformats, is having a thin only washi sheet, but I'll be honest with you, having 3 washi sheets is just an awful lot. So it's still in my, it's in my brain. I get it, you guys. All right, so here's just a close-up of these so you can see the patterns on it. And then here's the deluxe washi sheet. You guys, no changes were requested on this. That was one of the easiest reformat surveys to go through, and it was easy for me because I was like, okay, boom, done. So here is just a close-up of the patterns on this one. I love the green in this kit with the yellow and blue. I think it really kind of makes it jump off the page. Okay, this is our half, third, and quarter box sheet. I asked if this was enough labels, too many, not enough, etc. It was pretty much split down the middle. So for people that don't use this many decorative boxes, just wait until we get to the add-on listing, okay? All right, so here we have date covers. No changes on these. You've got your vertical or individual date covers, your Erin Condren hourly, the Plum vertical, and the brush strokes. You may notice a little something happening there, so that's just kind of a little sneak of some of the little changes that are coming. All right, so deco and deco journaling, we're still going to be offering a large majority of these in the clear mat. This one will have the clear mat, and you guys know the deco sheet changes from kit to kit. That's one of the only kit sheets that we will do like different things for every single kit with reason. So that is a deco sheet for this one. I just love it. Okay. Journaling sheet got a ton of changes, and I'm going to tell you, I could not fit all the things on the sheet that I wanted to do. So I do plan in the future to expand our journaling offerings, but in the meantime, we have this to get us started. So the little strip is now gone, the watercolor brushstroke strip, and the little circles. And one thing that I did have requested a couple of times in the reformat surveys was to make those little graph circles smaller. So they are smaller now. So we now have 2 of the washi strips, some corner pieces. This one should look familiar and that one should look familiar, but we added on some other fun little pieces, including these little flags, these half circles, which I just am so excited to try. I think they could literally be used just like this, or turned around and used upside down, or used vertically like this one, etc. I think the options for that are going to be absolutely limitless once people are afraid to not use, or not afraid to try them. We've got some little brush strokes happening. These I made a little bit smaller, just for journaling use. And then these are little tiny washi strips. So I'm having trouble here. I need to peel it from the other side. So these are just kind of just like that. So when we started doing these journaling kits, I was very specific about what I wanted the girls to do with them. I told them that the floor is theirs. They can put more watercolor, they can put more patterns, they can do a big mix of it. So each one of these will change week to week depending on how they are feeling about the art and whether they want to use more watercolor, more patterns, like I said, an even split of them. So this will be kind of fun to watch change each and every week. So it looks like Kim, I think Kim helped Ashley with this one, if I remember correctly. So it looked like she went pretty heavy on the watercolor for this one, and I kind of agree with that. The lemons can be a little bit overpowering if there's too many of them. So that is kind of fun. That will be neat to watch take shape. And then here's just the clear mat so you guys can see that, because I'm not going to do another release video going over this kit specifically, since you guys will be seeing it ad nauseum here. Okay, so that takes care of the regular weekly kit listing. So what we're gonna do is move into the add-on listing. So one of the changes that we made for the add-on listing was the little script add-on sheet that was inside of this listing. And it can be purchased, you know, inside every single listing a la carte, and it also has its own standalone listing. So a lot of what I did this year was, there's a little dot on there, was to standardize our sheet sizes so that we could put more of them on the F mark. And in almost every single sheet, this worked out in your guys' favor, because I was able to add more on instead of having little quarter sheets that were shorter just to fit what I needed on there. So I think you guys will be pretty excited about those changes, but this ended up having a lot more room on it than our previous script sheet. So there's quite a few additions there. Okay, so let's go through these add-on sheets. We've got several with changes, several without, and I think you guys are gonna like it. So there is the basic label sheet, the appointment label sheet. This is what we got rid of several off of the sampler sheets. So if you are an appointment label user, there is that sheet to add on there. Here is our scalloped doodle box, the stitch labels. So don't forget there's some of those on there now. And this is kind of what I was talking about with standardizing the sheet. So this is our sidebar listing. It used to stop right underneath of the actual 4 boxes that we have here, but we were able to make it a 3.5 by 5 sheet, which is a pretty standardized sheet for us and what we can cut on the F mark. So I was able to add a couple flags down there. So if you want to make a to-go section, a to-call, to-do on your sidebar, you'll have some cute little flags to add on to do that. And then kind of the same thing with the ombre checklist. I had some extra space at the bottom, so I thought a couple of individual check boxes would be super fun. And then no changes to these, except that we did color in the inside of the little check boxes to have just a slight little bit of color. So the 017 sheet is for vertical planners, and the 018 sheet is for the ECA5 horizontal, the Plum vertical and a 7x9, and the Erin Condren hourly. This is a doodle sheet. I was able to add a couple of more onto there. I thought some little towels for laundry, a little pencil just for journaling or to-do list, etc. We've got recycling, a cell phone, and a church. And I believe I may or may not have made a change or two up here, but anyway, you've got more space, same pricing, nothing's increasing in price, which is awesome to hear right now, right? But you are getting some more items on there. And then the weather tracker sheet. So this one was kind of agonizing to me. I know you guys only need 7 weather trackers, but I'm a huge stash builder person, so I like to put stuff in my stash to be used at another time. So I kept the 8 on there simply because I was already able to fit a ton of little weather icons down there. So if you need more of something than what is offered, these are all sold a la carte. You can buy mixed sheets. Mixed sheets might be in clearance now that I'm thinking about it, or these individual guys. So I put 1 snow and 1 lightning, and then a ton of rain, partly sunny, cloudy, sunny, etc., to get the majority of all the seasons. So save those, the ones you don't use, and put them in your book for, you know, if there's a really super stormy week or several days of snow, you'll have some extras to get you through the different seasons. All right. Sheet 21 is our notes and to-dos. No changes there. Got no request for any changes on that one, so that was super simple. And then our 022 sheet is our functional sheet, and we did do a black outline on the outside of all of our little shapes for this Reformats. I think it kind of makes it jump off the page. So you'll be seeing that continue throughout the listings. Okay, so the people that are not huge users of the half, third, and quarter box sheet because it's just too many labels, we now have this mixed label sheet. So there's just a few of the skinny labels, mainly because I had the space to fill up. And then we've got a couple of the third boxes, patterned and solid, and the quarter boxes, patterned and solid, and then 3 half boxes, patterned and solid. So there's a nice little variety there on that tiny little inexpensive add-on sheet. Okay, 8.5 by 11 washi. No requests there, that stayed the same. We have your thick washi, also no request, that stayed the same. And then this is kind of a preview of something to come. The biggest request I got on the Reformats was to get rid of date dots. I can imagine you guys are swimming in date dots just like we are. So I thought this was a great idea. They take a really long time to cut anyway, so it's not like it, you know, we are benefiting from having speedier cut sheets by putting those on there, because that's not the case at all. So we remove the date dots from every single sheet in our listing. So there are no more date dots on any of the sheets that you will see, but we do offer white background, like matte white, and a clear background for those that need those functional ones. And you can get them in like 2-month sheets and 6-month sheets. So you're covered on the date dots, and that way you can have them on one sheet instead of a whole bunch of little, you know, scrap sheets laying around. But the 026 sheet is going to be available for every single kit. You can make your own monthly with these. You can add them to date covers if you're not a date cover person, but you want to redate your planner. Like, these are perfect. So it has exactly 31 days, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blank ones, and then some little dots that match with them. So that'll be available in every single kit. Luann likes to make her own monthlies in her planners, and she'll use washi and date dots. So she's like super excited about this. And I'm super excited to be able to like open up a ton of space on tons of the sheets that will have stuff that you will actually use instead of date dots that you either just toss or accumulate. All right, so that takes care of the add-on listing. So we're going to go into all of the specific weekly planner listings. So the first one up is the TPC Nation. So I know this planner has been discontinued. I also know a ton of you guys still have the planners and will through the end of the year. So for right now, we're keeping the TPC kit as is. I am very anxious to get my hands on a Pentrix planner from the Penny Pages. I would love to hear if you guys have ordered one are planning to order one, let me know down in the notes below, and that will kind of determine how quickly we start shifting these rounded edge the boxes on the bottom to have straighter corners, and what we're kind of going to do in that interim period where people may have both of them. So not too many changes on this sheet. We did add the little black outlines to the flags down there, and then your TPC full box. If you are new here, these boxes are 1.5 by 1.5. So if you like the idea of the decorative part of a full box, but the regular full boxes are a little too big for you, we have a ton of people that use this sheet in a variety of planners. So you can always hop into the TPC listing and grab these full boxes to use in any planner that uses 1.5 inch wide labels. All right, so we're moving on to the 7x9 vertical priorities by Plum paper. So this one just got a little minor facelift, pretty much the same. The biggest request I got for this planner was to make this box a habit tracker. And while I can absolutely see the benefit in that, I want to make sure that it's as universal, and not everybody uses it to track habits. So what we did was made a little add-on sheet. This is B574. It's available as an individual listing already, and it will be inside of these kit listings going forward for you to purchase. So this box will fit right inside of the white part on this box. So I'm super excited that we were able to offer that without making everybody commit to using a habit tracker. So the date covers and the labels are the same. And then we have your bottom box sticky notes. So this one I changed the sizing on to be more compatible with the F mark. So you got some labels, an extra little Post-it note, and some little heart icons. All right, Hobonichi Cousin. You guys, this one kept me awake at night because I use it also. And there were definitely some changes that I wanted to see, and I was anxious to hear what you guys wanted to see. So there are quite a few changes on this kit. So this is the first sheet. So I added a Hello Weekend banner. You've got some little flags here, a Post-it note, 3 appointment labels, 4 skinny labels, and 2 like what would be a half box. And I'm super excited about this because I feel like with what we were able to add onto the second sheet, we got it. Like, I'm feeling so good and so excited about this. If you watch my Plan With Me's, you know that I like to use the little dots for invoice days, and I'm pulling invoices down for Ashley for processing on our favor side. And I always want 4 a week, and I only have 3. And so when I got several responses back saying people use upwards as many as 16 dots, I was like, I am so here for this. And since we took the date dots off of this sheet, we had a ton of room to add that kind of thing. I did get requests for some more icons, so those are on there. You've got your scripts. Some of those I believe are new, like Lazy Day and Nope. And then we also have a couple more labels. So you've got another half box, some skinny labels. You've got your Monday through Sunday tracker here, along with 2 little habit trackers and 2 more strips of washi. But wait, that's not all. We're also adding a label sheet into the kit for you guys. So this one is going to have a lot more of the bigger boxes for those that like to use them, because that was definitely expressed, and I hear you guys. Okay, that's the Hobonichi Cousin. Let's move into the Passion Planner. I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to be the last 6 months of Passion Planner that we are doing. We are going to discontinue this kit at the end of the year, so I did not do very many changes aside from adding in some of the new little dots. This planner, I love this planner. I think it's really cool, and I would actually not be opposed to using it myself, but I have a lot of issues with the actual company and their desire to just continually change the measurements on these planners every single year. It irks me to no end, and I find that it's completely not, it's not conducive for their customers either, because the 2022 kits for the Passion Planner don't fit in the 2023 Passion Planners, and to me that's just kind of silly. So I kind of decided this will be our last part of the year with these, so there are no changes to report. I didn't even take the date dots off of these because we're just gonna let those that use them. It gives you plenty of time to find another option for planners, or for, you know, for finding another shop to purchase specific passion planner kits from. I will say that I am seeing that more and more, that a lot of shops are no longer doing passion planner specific kits. I did add a few appointment labels on there simply because I had the extra space with the resizing of the sheets for the F mark. Okay, Hobonichi Weeks. This one, you guys, this one was so hard for me. This is never ever a planner that I could use. So I would welcome your feedback anytime about these kits and what you would like to see going forward. I did do a plan with me in this, using like a little mock-up kit to see how I would use it and what I would do with it. And I did make some changes, just even based on your guys' comments and what I thought about it as far as that goes. So you've got top washi and bottom washi. There's a day of the week strip, no date dots on this because we are not doing that. Tons of little dots for, you know, habit tracking, to-do list, etc. A section of scripts. This goes on the right side towards the spine in the little area they have there. There are some stitched labels, and then these little kind of stacked shadow boxes. These are little checklist strips, and then you also have a habit tracker on there. All right, that takes care of these planner specific weeklies. We are going to move into the daily duos. I did not get a ton of requests for changes for this kit, which was awesome. You guys really seem to like it, which makes my job and my life a lot easier. So here is your main sheet. So you've got 6 little dots, checklist circles, whatever you want to call them. Here is your standard labels and your appointment labels, your solid headers and the washi headers. Let me zoom you in so you can kind of break up all of that yellow. Maybe, there we go. All right, so you've got some stacked lemons there, some lemons on a blue background, and some lemons on a light blue background. And then your bottom box options, you've got A, B, and C. And then your 7th day box, and then your checklist sheet. So this one, again, because of the sizing of the sheets and making them more standard, I was able to add on some additional labels there, along with some little heart icons. And then the daily duo notes page. I did just kind of want to spruce this up a little bit and do a little bit of a change. So you've still got your top washi, your optional sidebar for a week and a glance, and then 3 little washis to separate the, if you do this like say on the left side of the page, then you would have the right side of the page to split up, to use these scripts to kind of give yourself a weekly overview. I did get a request for habit trackers, which I was happy to add on there, so that will fit on anywhere on that page because it's a blank slate. All right, 7 by 9 daily duo. So here is your Monday through Friday sheet, your Saturday and Sunday sheet. Again, I had more room, so I was able to add on some labels, some flags, and some little dots for you guys. And then the label sheets remain unchanged. So you've got the basic labels, your appointment labels, your solid headers, and your washi headers. I'm 99% sure this is when I was able to add some more of the headers on there. So, you know, stick the extra ones in your stash if you don't need them all. I don't care what you do with them, but if they can fit, I am going to send it. Okay, bottom boxes. You've got A, B, C, and your 7th day box. Your checklist, again, I had room to add a couple of labels and a couple of hearts. These are checklist strips. They are not individual checklists, so you can lay those down and they will line up in the lines. Okay, the week at a glance notes page. So no changes on this one, just kind of updated the stars to be a little more fun. And because when you have a bigger planner, you have bigger stickers, which means less fits on a sheet, I wanted to be able to give you guys with the 7x9s the option for a habit tracker also, so you have an option of buying this cute little inexpensive sheet for your habit tracker. All right, so let's move into the Plum Dailies. So the A5 Plum Daily had date dots on it, so those are gone, which allowed me to A, fit it onto an F mark template and add a couple of fun little elements there for you guys. No changes on the ombre checklist aside from having a little bit of color fill inside your checklist strips. Okay, so your basic labels and appointment labels are the same. Your first sheet with the 5 days of bottom boxes are the same, and I'm missing a sheet. Okay, and this is now the 6th and 7th day box. So it seemed like people either didn't use the scripts or use the scripts but thought we're fine with it being broken up. So that is what I did. So this is available as a individual listing, and it will also be in all of the Plum Daily kits, including the 7x9, which I'm going to go over in a minute. And then we've got your solid headers and your washi headers for that one. And then your 7x9 Plum Daily is here. I don't even know if you guys will notice this, but the sheets used to be oriented like this. Most of them are now flipped to be like this, and this is because of F-mark reformatting. So just so you know, the days of the week are not upside down. You're just holding the sheet the opposite way that you used to. So here's the Saturday and Sunday. I was able to fit a couple of labels and doohickeys on there. And then here is your ombre checklist box, your basic labels, your appointment labels, your 5 days worth of bottom boxes, and the other two. And again, that sheet will be in that listing. And then you've got your solid headers and your washi headers for that one. So all of these like washi headers and solid header sheets, I'm pretty sure I was able to fit a few more of them on there with the sheet restructuring situation. Okay, so that takes care of all of the weeklies and all of the dailies. We are finally moving into the monthlies and getting a little bit closer to being done. Okay, a 5 Plum dashboard, 7x9 Plum dashboard, 8.5x11 Plum dashboard, and then your extra circle boxes. These sell enough that it makes it worth us keeping in the shop, because I know that we have some really great customers that buy them every single month that they buy a monthly kit, but they're not quite a big enough seller for us to have spent the time doing any sort of reformatting on those. Okay. A5 Plum Daily. So the monthlies were where I got the most requests for changes. Although I think maybe possibly in a couple years I could be swayed to printing the months on these sheets, it's just not, it doesn't really work for our business model, because we don't want to say that you specifically have to use this kit in July. This would be a great June, July, August. You could use it whenever you want. I would have used it in May if it were out, but you know, that to each their own. So I really just have a personal issue with printing a month on there that makes it specific to when you guys are using them. So that, just kind of keep that in mind. So we have your 2 strips. I did put some bottom washi on this one, added some stars and some flags. Since we got rid of the date boxes, I was able to add some functional full boxes and a ton of labels, you guys. You should not, unless you are super busy, and if that's the case, I do not envy you. You should not need any additional labels, although they will still be available. So one of the other requests we got, I asked about sidebars. Those were, I mean, there were some people that said no for sure, but the majority of you guys wanted a sidebar, and I also got a ton of requests for boxes to fill in the empty days. So since we don't make our monthlies month specific, I had to kind of come up with a compromise for that. So most of these kits will have a sheet 2 that includes a sidebar and strips to cover up the individual days. What I did, and seriously, you guys don't even know how much time this took, is made these individual boxes. So they will fit for any month. So there's a strip of 4 in a strip of 3. So, you know, one side of your planner is going to have 4 days on it and one side of your planner is going to have 3 days on it. So this way you can line it up. It's completely seamless. You don't have to worry about trimming. If I did, you know, just long strips, that, you know, finding out where you got to trim it and trimming it wrong, etc. These are pretty sensitive to where you lay them down at, but they match up seamlessly as long as you get them down straight. So I did put a little tip on here. So you want to lay down these empty day boxes before you lay down your days of the week on sheet 1, because those hang down. So just kind of keep that in mind if you purchase that. But I'm pretty excited about the empty day boxes. I'm not a super huge monthly planner, so I don't know that I would use it, but I definitely get the excitement of them. So I'm glad that we are able to offer them while still keeping our monthlies not month specific. Okay, there is an add-on sheet should you need it, and this will also work in the A5 Erin Condren planner as well. All right, so the 7x9 Plum Daily. So you've got way more boxes, labels. Now that we've taken the date dots off, you still got your Monday through Sunday script, so you can make it a Monday or a Sunday start. You've got some little functional full boxes for days where you've got exciting things going on. And then sheet 2 will have your sidebar, your empty day boxes, and the plums are very tall as far as their sidebars go. And so in order to fit them on a sheet, it's a sidebar and then a decorative box that goes on the monthly that's on the bottom right of those monthly layouts. And then, of course, a label sheet. So you'll get a whole bunch of variety of colors by doing it this way. So if you do add on the label sheet, you'll have more color options to choose from. Okay, 8.5 by 11 plum. This one is not a super huge seller, so I did do something a little bit different with the second sheet, but we do now have some bottom washi for you. These are labels. Even though the color all run together, they are tight on this page, but I wanted to make sure to give you guys as many labels as I possibly could. Here is sheet 2, same thing. Bottom box will be a decorative box to cover the calendar, and this will fit on the sidebar. This one, we were only able to get 3 days worth of empty day boxes, and you can have upwards of 6 depending on how the month lays out. So like July, for example, I believe starts on a Saturday, which means there's 6 days of empty boxes, but there's only 3 that will fit on there. We just have to keep it, you know, limited to the size sheets we can fit in envelopes to ship affordably. On and on the things go. And I am missing the label sheet for this guy, but there is. Let me make a note and make sure that that got cut and put into stock. 233 sheet. I don't recall there being any changes to that add-on listing on the label sheet. Okay, so let's move into the Erin Condren. So this is the A5 sheet 1. Again, no date dots, but you have some functional full boxes, quite a few labels on here. And if you'll notice, the Monday start strip is gone. However, it's not totally gone. It just moved to the second sheet. For those that don't need it, it seems, it doesn't take up a ton of space, but I did get some requests to have it moved off, and I want to still keep you Monday start people in mind, so I just moved it to the second sheet. So you've still got your 7 days of empty boxes, tons of labels. We also added this month sticker onto, I believe, all of the monthlies, along with some fun little icons and your sidebar. And then the 213 label sheet will fit in there as well. All right, let's talk dashboards. My Erin Condren order is lost in the hole of FedEx. And for some reason, they're having trouble finding the shop's address. And I don't say for some reason, I actually know that this area is hard. It's a business district, but nobody has street signage, and they did construction a couple years ago here on the road. So everybody had to move their mailboxes off. So it's just a smaller kind of country feel commercial area, so there's no road signage. And the driver yesterday was having trouble finding the building, and it ended up going back to FedEx because every time FedEx called me, the call got dropped. It was a nightmare. Anyway, so I'm still waiting on those. If they can't find it today, I'm hoping it's a different driver that's been down here and that can find the building. If not, I'm gonna have it held for pickup and I'll go pick it up tomorrow. But my idea is to find some sort of dashboard option that will work for those that are ordering the Etta V Inspire collection or the Wildflowers collection. And I was hoping that I would get them this week. I was actually hoping I would get it last week, but it just shipped on, let's see, where are we at? Thursday. It shipped on Tuesday. I was supposed to get it Wednesday. It's still not here. Anyway, so that's a whole thing. So I'm hoping that I'm going to have some dashboard options for those of you that are ordering those more bright ones. But for those that still have your 2023 planners and or are getting the Canvas planner, we kept the dashboards the same for those. And again, I'm hoping we can do something probably more just basic, functional, solid colors to match those other two specific planners. All right, that's my piece about the Erin Condren situation. All right, so now we have the 7x9 Erin Condren. So you've got two full functional boxes, your Sunday Start strips on here. I did adjust this a little bit to make these just slightly taller to kind of cover up some more of that printing situation. So if these were a little too short for you before, they are slightly taller. We'll go closer to the edge. My opinion makes it a total pain in the butt, but you know, to put on, but to each their own. So that is sheet 1. Sheet 2 has your Monday Start, your sidebar, your 7 days of empty box covers, and then some labels, and then these labels will fit in there as well. So same situation with the dashboard for those. We kept it the same until we can get those planners in hand. Got your line boxes and your habit tracker boxes. And then 8.5 by 11 Erin Condren. So we do have some customers that order this regularly. It's not a huge seller. I may not bring it back next year. So I did not do any changes to this one. It's just not a good spend of our time. But you've got your 8.5 by 11 monthly there. And then your add-on labels there. Okay, and then, and actually what sheet is that? Nope, 262. I was like, maybe that was my missing 233 sheet. It is not. All right, so then we have the Passion Planner. So no changes for this one. Like I said, this kit is going away at the end of the year, but here it is in the lemon pattern so you can see it. And then the Hobonichi Cousin. So we did do some changes on this one. No sidebar since the decorative kind of monthly display goes on the sidebar. You can trim these if you want to make use of your sidebar and then your bottom washi. So those months like July that start on a Saturday and that have a million days in the month, you may have to trim the bottom washi to see all of your date calendars. But this way, again, we can keep these monthlies available for all of the months, and you can use it when you want. So you've got a couple of flag stars and a functional full box, and then these are your empty day covers and your Sunday Start for those, because that's a Monday Start planner. So if you want that, you'll have to buy sheet 2, which I will be picking out because I like a Sunday Start monthly. And then you've got your add-on labels. And since we did the Hobonichi Weeks weekly layout, we of course had to do a monthly layout. So this is just a one sheet kit, super simple, tiny little planners. You've got your Sunday Start, your Monday Start, your decorative bottoms for the months, and there will be an add-on monthly option in there. And then I think, if I remember correctly, 1, 2, 3, well, I think it's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 days worth of the empty day boxes on that one, and quite a few labels on there in different sizes. And then we also did a little this month section to cover up the month that's at the top left of that planner. So you guys, we made it. We are done with the reformats. I hope you guys love them. I am so with you. I'm so excited and ready to start moving on to a new font. And believe it or not, we have it all picked out. Kim's going to be starting to list basic items in there and days of the week and date dots, etc. So you can kind of get a little sneak peek, but I'm not going to totally show you guys yet because let's enjoy the changes we have. And I hope you guys love your new planners and as excited about these changes as I am. And I will see you guys tomorrow, and we will go over kit 242, which will also be releasing on May 11th. See you then.